Okay, before we start, anybody have question? No question? If not, then we'll continue. We're gonna try to finish all chapter today. Well, chapter 7 and 8. Chapter 7 actually you already got it during the lab, right? Which is the axial skeleton. We're gonna review it a little bit and then we'll continue with the last chapter, which is the appendicular skeleton. Okay, so skeletal system. Skeletal system. Okay, consists of organs called bone. How many? 206 bone. Make sure you know this one. Okay, this number. Now, from this 206 bone, is divided into two groups. Two types of skeleton. The one in the center. Okay, the center of our body, all that bone is called axial. Okay, in the axis, axial skeleton. Okay, how many bones? 80 bones. The second one, this is the one that's located on the appendages, the wings, the limbs. What you call all of that bones? Appendicular skeleton. How many bones there? 126. Get it? Okay, total 206. Now the axial skeleton is divided into several groups. The first one, skull. Skull, how many bones? 22. Make it, right? And this skull divided into two. The one that protect your brain is called cranium. How many bones? 8. Okay. Let's name all of these 8 bones. Okay. The one is the front. Frontal. How many bones frontal? 1. The one on the top. Gonna be left and right. What is the name? Parietal. Parietal bone. Okay, 2. The one on the back, only 1. What is the name? Occipital. Occipital bone, 1. Get it? The one on the side, temporal. How many? It should be 2, because you have left and right. Okay? And on the front over here, you have 2 more bones. The bigger one is called the sphenoid. It looks like a butterfly. Okay, so sphenoid 1, and the smaller one is called the ethmoid 1. Total 8. That's all the cranial bones. The second group of the skull is the bone on your face. Facial bone, facial bone. How many will be? 14. Okay, because total has to be 22. 8 plus 14, 22. Now we're gonna name all of them. The facial bone. Start with the nose. It's called nasal bone. How many? 2. This is very small actually. The top one. The bottom one is cartilage. The top one over here. The second one is your cheekbone. Zygomatic. Zygomatic, which is 2, left and right. The next one here, upper jaw. Maxilla. Or if it is 2, it's called maxillae. This is 2. 2. The lower jaw, mandible. Only 1. Okay, remember mandible is only 1. It's fused together, left and right. Now where we go? We go to the inner, the orbital. You have the bone that has a lacrimal canal. What you call that bone is going to be? Lacrimal bone, which is 2 because you have 2 orbits. Okay? Now, what is next? In the nose, there is 2, there is a 2 bones inside your nose. It's called the inferior nasal concave. Concave means 1 because more than 1 is concave, which is 2. Okay, and there is also the one that separates the left and right nasal cavity. Is called vomer. Only one. This is a septum. And the last one will be on the roof or your mouth. Palatine, which is 2, left and right. Total 14. That. With this first group, the skull. Second group. What's the second group? Your rib cage. Okay, rib cage over here. Thorax or rib cage. How many bones? 25 bones. Okay, start with the middle one. Breastbone, what do you call it? Sternum. Okay, and then the second groups will be 24 ribs. Ribs or costae, that's a scientific name, which is 24. This is 1. Total 25. This rib, the costae is actually in pairs, right? So 12 pairs. Pairs, number 1 to number 7. It's a true rib because it's connected to the sternum and also to the back, to the vertebrae. True ribs. The next one, pairs number 8 to 12. It's not directly connected to the sternum. Of course, connected to the back, to the vertebrae, right? All of this 8 to 12 is called false. False rib. False ribs. Especially rib number, for this false rib number 11 and 12 is floating. They are false, but not only false, they are also floating ribs. We're done. We're done with this second group. Okay, I'm gonna erase this to put the third group over here. The third group is long one on the back. Your backbone, right? Your backbone, which is called vertebrae. How many? 26. See, you ready for the exam? 26. Remember the numbers, okay? Because there are also questions about numbers. 26. It is divided into 5 areas. Okay. The first one is on your neck, called the cervical vertebrae. How many? 7. Okay, we can name all of them. Vertebrae, cervical vertebrae number 1, it has a real name. It's called atlas. Cervical vertebrae number 2, axis. The rest, easy. Cervical vertebrae number 3 until number 7. That's cervical vertebrae. Second group, this is in the thorax. Therefore, it's called the thoracic vertebrae. How many of them? Gonna be 12 because you have 12 ribs. You have 12 ribs. Gonna be each of them will be attached to one of each of the ribs. So gonna be 12. What is the name? Thoracic vertebrae 1 until thoracic vertebrae 12. It's not that difficult. Right. What is the next group? Lumbar vertebrae. This is the biggest vertebrae actually. 5 of them. This is on the back here. Right. And that one is the one that actually holds your body, therefore it's bigger. And this is the one that have problem usually if you have slipped disc, herniated disc in this place. Right? So what is the name gonna be? Lumbar vertebrae number 1 until 5. Get it? What is next? Sacrum. Sacrum or sacral vertebrae, which is only 1. It looks like a triangle like this. Okay? And then the last one. Tail. What you call the tail? Coccyx. Coccyx. How many tail we have?
1.
Only 1. That's a good thing. Only 1. Alright, now, before we go to the next one, when you born, right? Let's say this is you as a baby, right? So you have curve like this. Okay? You have curve. So this vertebrae actually making curve. Right now you have 4 curves. When you are adult, you have 4 curves. But when you born, you only have 2 curves. Okay? This is actually thorax, right? This is cervix. What? On the neck. What is this? Lumbar. You with me? And this is the, no, it's sacrum. Right? Sacral. Right? There are 4 curves. But when you born, you actually only have 2 curves, which is the cervix is not formed yet. Okay? Your cervix is not formed yet. So this is what we call the, this is actually follow the thorax curve. This is thoracic curve. Okay? And look at this one. When you still baby, your lumbar is also not formed yet. You have the sacral curve. Okay? So sacral curve over here. Sacral curve. Lumbar and cervix are not present yet. They present later after you growing. Right? So these 2 curve over here, the thoracic and the lumbar, the sacral curve is called the primary curve. Primary curve. What is primary curve? The curve that you have since you were born. Okay? I'm gonna erase this one. Now, look at when you are adult. This is you. Right? Then you have neck over here. Right? And then you have thorax. Okay? And then you have lumbar curve. And finally you have the thoracic curve. Right? So you have neck. Let's say this going this way. Like that. So you have this one. The neck. What do you call it? Cervical curve. Then you have this on the thorax. It's called thoracic curve, right? And then you have this.
Would that still be the same as like thoracic kyphosis? Thoracic kyphosis?
Not yet, not yet. Right now this is normal. This is normal curve, okay? Normal curve. It looks like you have kyphosis over here, but it is not. Okay, so it is normal. Okay, so you have neck, you have, the thorax a little bit on the back, and then this a little bit move on the front, which is the lumbar. This is lumbar, right? And then finally this, your sacrum with the tail, which is called the sacral. Okay, sacral curve. Okay, now adult. It's normal curve. Now, which one that actually present since you born? You have thoracic and curve. This is what we call the primary curve, right? How about cervical curve? You actually have it when you baby, you start to lift your head. Hey mama, then finally you get that curve.
Yeah, I
Eh?
worry about my kid, but.
Now this one, the lumbar curve, usually it's gonna be formed when you start to sit down. When you sit down, then it's gonna be formed a little bit, and finally you have this lumbar curve. So because this curve present or formed after you are born, then this curve is called what? If you have primary curve, then you have secondary curve. Just remember, the cervical and lumbar curve, they are secondary curve. The thoracic and sacral curve, they are primary curve. Get it? Now, we talk about the abnormality. Abnormality in this curve. I'm gonna erase this. We start with what Dalton say. There are hunchback, Beast and Beauty. Beauty and the Beast. You see the movie of the Beauty and the Beast? What happened with that? It has this, the thoracic curve is exaggerated. It's kind of bulging. Right? So what do you call that? You just said it, Dalton. Kyphosis. So kyphosis is when the thoracic curve is bulging. So it's gonna be like the beast. Not the beauty, but the beast. You see the movie, right? Beauty and the Beast. The hunchback. Hunchback? How you say it? I don't know. Hunchback. Okay. Kyphosis. Are you with me? Now, sometimes you also see a person, their thoracic curve over here, is kind of bending to lateral, to the side. I don't know how to, because I don't have it. But sometimes you see that person, right? With that bending, that's abnormality. Anybody know what is the name? Scoliosis. Scoliosis. This is lateral bending. Okay? Get it? And the last one, sometimes you also see someone that have the lumbar bending. Most of the time, the woman, when they have baby, they have kind of a little bit bending, lumbar bending. But there are some abnormal person that have that. What you call it? Lordosis. Okay, this is lumbar bending, exaggerated, too much. This one is thorax, thoracic bending. Okay, you get this one. So these are 3 different types of abnormality in this vertebrae. Maybe kyphosis, scoliosis, or lordosis. And I mentioned before, on the lumbar area, it has 5 bigger vertebrae. And between vertebrae, there is a vertebral disc, which is actually cartilage. What type of cartilage is this? This is the most strongest type of cartilage. No, collagen is not cartilage. There are 3 types of cartilage: hyaline, elastic, and the fibro. This one is fibrocartilage, the strongest one. So when this person actually have a job that require a lot of carrying things, sometimes this will push this vertebral disc. Because this vertebral disc is very, very strong, it will not broken. It will not broken, but it will slip instead of broken. It slip from the place. It will touch your sensory system, your pain sensory system. Get it? And then you get pain. Really, 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 really painful. Some people said, I don't have it. I hope I will not get it. But some people will get it, that's very, very painful. They cannot do a lot of things. What they have to do, then they have to have mostly surgery. They will have the surgery. So that, what do you call that? Herniated disc. Herniated or slip. Okay, slip disc. Okay, that's another abnormality for this vertebrae, okay, axial skeleton. Okay, now, last time when we talk about the original layer that make the nervous tissue, remember we have 4 types of tissue, right? Epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle tissue, and nervous tissue. Epithelial tissue is made from all 3 layers of germ, right? Remember that? And then the connective is made from remember the 3 layers when we're still baby, what you call this? Ectoderm, right? The second one, mesoderm, right? The inside one is called the endoderm. Okay? So endoderm is created all the GI tract. The ectoderm mostly the skin area. The mesoderm is all organ between skin and the GI tract, right? Remember that. Right? Now, the epithelial tissue is made from all of these layers because every organ have epithelial tissue. Get it? The muscle, bone, kidney, liver, whatever is created from mesoderm. The GI tract, esophagus, and their friend, created from endoderm. But the nervous tissue over here is actually coming from ectoderm. You get it? During our development, the ectoderm is actually will be invaginated, go inside, and then it's created this, which is brain and the spinal cord. So this is brain, spinal cord. It's actually created from ectoderm. You get this one? Now, during our development, after it is going down, it has to be closed over here, right? It has to be closed. Otherwise, you have problem. That problem is called spinal bifida, which is in the baby. When they be born, they actually have kind of a long opening on their back. It's really hurt. It's long opening on the back. They usually have to get surgery in order to close it. Are you with me? That abnormality is called the spinal bifida, which is that baby during the process unable to close this invagination. Okay, you get this one? That's the proof that the nervous tissue is made from ectoderm. Okay, do you have question for this one? If not, we go to the next group of the axial skeleton. The next group of axial skeleton. What's group now? 4th group. Right? Okay. Skull, rib cage, vertebrae, and the next one is only one on your neck. On the front is called the hyoid. Hyoid bone. 1. Okay? Hyoid bone 1. Alright, and the last group, this is the one on the ear. Ear ossicle. How many total? Total 6, because you have left and right. Okay, 3 on the left, 3 on the right. What is the name? Malleus, okay, Malleus, Incus, and Cyrus. Steve, I don't know how to get it, but that's Malleus for me. 2, right? Malleus, Incus, and Steve. Total, if you total them together, then it should be 80. I mean, all total the group. Yeah, total the group should be 80. Right? Skull, 22, thorax, 25, vertebrae, 26, hyoid, 1, ear ossicle, 6, total 80. Do you have question for this one? We're done with the axial skeleton. We'll continue with the last group, appendicular skeleton, the second group. Okay, it's more bones over here, right? It is more bones on the appendicular skeleton compared to the axial skeleton. However, that's the good news for you, right? Because this appendicular skeleton is actually on the right and on the left, the name of the bone is actually only half that you have to remember, because you just put left and right. Okay? So basically only half name of the bone that you will memorize. Just put left and right. Get it? Now, appendicular skeleton is divided into 4 groups. 4 groups. The first group is called the bone that actually should be holding the upper limb. It is attached to your axial skeleton and it will hold your upper limb. It's called pectoral girdle because it is on the pectoral, on your pec. How many bones over here?
4.
You have 4 bones. You have 4 bones. Again, you only memorize 2 names. Right? Now, what is the first one? We're gonna place over here. This is over here. Look like a clavicle. Or what do you call it in America? Collarbone. Collarbone. So collarbone. So we should start with the C. The name is also start with the C. Clavicle. Clavicle. Collarbone. How many?
2.
Gonna be 2. Left and right. Now, what is the second one to be? This is your blade. On the back you have the blade, and the front you have the cavity for your humerus to attach. What you call it? Scapula. We call it. Remember, this is collarbone. Start with the C. What? This one is called the shoulder blade. Start with the S. Right? So it's also start with the S. Scapulae, because we have 2. Okay. There is a shoulder blade. And it's gonna be 2. And with that, that for the pectoral girdle. In the scapulae, there is a part of the scapula that will have what we call the depression. It's called the glenoid cavity. Glenoid cavity. This is actually also socket. Socket for the humerus later. Now, the second group. This is gonna be the upper limbs. Upper limbs. Upper limbs. Remember, you have right and left. Total for upper limb bone is 60. 60.
30 on each side.
30 on each side. Now we're gonna name all of them. First is this. No, not femur. Sorry. This looks like a femur, but maybe it's too much like this. This is the humerus, upper arm, humerus, and it has ball. So the process over here is called the ball. Therefore, later, when you learn about the chapter 9 about joint, you have joint called ball and socket joint, which is we have 2 places in our shoulder, in our hip. They have ball and socket. So humerus. Humerus. How many? 2, because left and right. Next, under the humerus, Eh? Now, when you do like this, eh? Remember this is a standard position, right? So when you do like this, the one that goes with the thumb is actually bigger. You see? Eh? So let's say this is okay, the thumb. This is thumb side over here. You have bigger bone over here. Eh? That bone is called radius. Okay, so radius is on the thumb side, bigger. Okay, and then the one is on the little finger side, pinky side. What do you call it? Ulna, ulna, radius and ulna. That's actually pairs, radius and ulna. Okay, they are actually connected with fiber over here. There is gonna be fiber that connect these two bones. Okay? We're gonna learn that later when we talk about joint. Okay? Ulna. Right. And then after under that ulna, you have 8 bone over here. 8 bone. Right? Anybody know the name? Wrist bone, carpal. Okay, carpal. How many bone? Total is 14, right? Because 8 plus 8. 8 plus 8 is 14. See, I have problem with my math. It's 16. 8 plus 8 is 16. Okay, we're gonna name it. Okay, we're gonna name it. Okay, we're gonna name it. Okay, now we're gonna do like this. Then we start from the thumb side. Okay, there is a bone that look like this. Let's say look like this. Okay, it's called the scaphoid. Scaphoid. Right? They actually have 2 rows. The top row have 4 bones. The bottom row also have 4 bones. Okay, and then the second one is look like moon. Moon. Moon in Spanish is luna. What? Luna. So lunate. Lunate. Okay? And then after that, there is a bone that have 3 sides like that. Okay? Therefore, it's called a 3 quadrum. 3 quadrum. You with me? And then the last one is very small on the top. Okay, the first row is really small, look like a pea. Not P, but P. So the same actually. P. You know P? What? The thing that sometimes you eat, P. Right? So it is P-shaped. P-shaped bone, look like a P shape. Therefore, it's called PC shape is form. Right? Physiform. That's on the top row. Get me? Now, the second row is start with, okay, it look like a square, but it's longer square. What's it longer square? This one, so this is math term, okay? This is trapezium. Trapezium. So this is called the trapezium. The next one is the same shape, but it's a little bit smaller. It's called trapezoid. The same shape. Learn math. This is a shape in the math. Trapezium, trapezoid.
So is it trapezium or trapezoid?
Trapezium first, bigger. Trapezoid second, smaller. They are very similar shape. And the next one is look like head. Head. I'm gonna put eyes over here, then you're gonna see head. Okay? But I will erase this one. Okay, head, which is cap. Cap. Therefore, it's called cap. Capitate. Okay, that's the name. Cap. decapitated. The last one, you can actually feel the hook on that bone. That's a hook bone. It's a little bit bigger like this, but there is a hook on it. Okay, that's hook bone, which is hamate. So hamate. Okay. Can you memorize this? Scaphoid, lunate, triquetrum, pisiform, trapezium, trapezoid, capitate, hamate. How you remember it? I usually remember by stop letting those people touch the cadaver head. Remember the first letter. So stop those people touch the cadaver head. Okay? So stop those people. Stop those. Oh, not those. We have let over here. Let. There's L over there. Those people. Okay, now we got it. Okay, stop. Let those people. Then the next one is touch the cadaver hand. So SLTPTTCH. It's up to you how do you remember it, but that's how. I even forget let. I forget the let, which is the lunate over here, right? Stop let those people touching the cadaver head, then you will be fine, right? If you stop letting those people touching the cadaver head. Okay. You have question for this one. So this is 8, right? 8 on the left side and another 8 on the right side. That's total 16. Right. Okay, under the carpal, so you have, let's say, I'm gonna erase this. Okay, so you have this right, these carpals, okay, which is 8. Then you have one. This is gonna be the thumb side, right? Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, which is here, your palm. Your palm. You have 5 bone. Anybody know what is the name of these 5 bone? All of them is called meta. This is carpal. Then it's gonna be metacarpal. Right? How many bone? 5. This one is easy to name. Right? The one that's on the thumb side is gonna be metacarpal 1, metacarpal 2, metacarpal 3, metacarpal 4, and metacarpal 5. Get it? That's not that difficult. Okay, so metacarpal. Metacarpal. What is total gonna be? 5 plus 5. See? You have problem the same like me. 5 plus 5 is 10. Get it? Okay. Now, the last one. Right? The last one for this upper limbs, bones. Over here. This is gonna be thumb. Your thumb finger. How many? You actually can able to see how many finger? I'm sorry. How many bone in each of your finger? Thumb only have. No, look. 2, right? 1 and 2, 2, right? And then how about this? 3. How about this? I'm sorry. How about sorry. How about this? 3. How about this? How about this? Yeah. Total, how many? So thumb has 2, right? And then this one have 3. The middle one also have 3. Got it? Ring one also have 3. Pinky also have 3. Now how many total? 14, right? 14. All of them is called phalanges. Phalanges. How many? 14. Okay, so phalanges. 14 on one side, on one hand. 28. Okay. Total 28 phalanges. Now I want you to total all of them over here. I hope it's gonna be 60. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 16 plus 10 plus 28. If it is not 60, then it's wrong. It's 60, right? 60 bone. Are you with me? Alright. I'm gonna erase this. We're gonna use for the next group. The next group. Okay, which is number 3. This is also girdle for your lower limbs. That girdle is called, it is on the hip, therefore it's called the hip girdle. Okay, how many bones over here? You actually, how many hip you have? No, it's actually 2, left and right. So hip girdle is 2. 2. Again, because this is 2, it means that you only remember one name, which is coxae, because it's 2, coxae, which is coxae means hip. Okay, hip bones. How many total? Of course 2, left and right. That's it. Coxae. You have 2 coxae. We're gonna learn this shape. Okay. Also, how to identify female and male coxae in the lab later. And the last group will be, if you have upper limb, then you have lower limb. It's gonna be the same number, 60 both. So when you're adding together, 60 plus 60 is 120, right? Plus 6, 126. You're done with that number, right? Now we're gonna name all the bones on the lower limbs. Start with the biggest bone of your body, the strongest, the longest, the meanest bone is called the femur. Femur. How many femur? 2. Under the femur, you also have 2 bones, that is big and small. Again, on the thumb side, on the big toe side, you're gonna have the bigger bone. Okay, and in the pinky side, you have smaller bone. The bigger bone is the shin bone. Anybody know what is the name of the shin bone? Tibia. Tibia, shin bone. And if you play soccer, you have to protect the shin bone. You have the shin, what do you call it? Shin guard. There's a shin guard for shin bone. So how many shin bone you have? 2. The smallest one over here is called fibula. Smaller bone is fibula. It's also 2. Now under that, it's gonna be very similar with this. If you have carpals, which is wrist on the upper bone, upper limb, you have tarsal, ankle bone, tarsal. Okay, tarsal, carpals, you have how many bone in tarsal? 8 plus 8, right? On the tarsal is only 7. 7 plus 7. It's not 8. Okay, it's 7 plus 7, which is 14. Now we're gonna name all these 7 tarsal bones. Okay, we're gonna erase this. Okay, so tarsal bone, 7, right? You only remember 7 of them. Now start with, let's say here, okay, on your ankle. Your ankle, sorry. Okay, heel, your heel bone. Anybody know what's the name? Heel bone. It's called calcaneus. calcaneus. Put the name by yourself. Okay, this is heel bone. So gonna be 2. Okay. Okay, this is heel bone over here. Okay, and then will be another bone on the inside over here, on the top of the heel bone. That one is talus. Alright, talus. So calcaneus, heel bone, and then talus. Got it? Now under the talus, you have a bone that look like a boat shape. Navi, remember Navi is for someone in the boat, yeah? So it's gonna be navicular. Navicular boat. Yeah, you follow this? Then you have another 3, sorry. So the top row is 3, right? The top row is 3. Now the bottom row, if you have 7, how many is gonna be? 4, right? So it's gonna be 7. So you have 3 that's gonna be here, and 1 look like a cube over here. Okay? So that one is, we're gonna put it calcaneus, talus, right? And then navicular. Okay? 2, right? Here, first, second, third. First, second, third, cuneiform. Okay? First, second, and third, cuneiform. You get it? So it's gonna be 3, right? First, second, third, all of them is called cuneiform. How many total is gonna be? 6, right? 3 and 3. And the last one is look like a cube, therefore it's called cuboid. Right? It's a cuboid. It's gonna be 2. You done. Okay? Okay, got it? Now, after that, after tarsal, then the 5th group will be what? You know, in carpal, under the carpal you have metacarpal, right? So over here, under the tarsal, you're gonna have what? Metatarsal. How many? Gonna be the same like metacarpals. 5, right? Or 10. 5 plus 5. Right? So it's gonna be like this. 1, 2, 3. This one has it together over here. Okay? So 5 metatarsal. This one's gonna be metatarsal 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You with me? Done. Metatarsal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Phalanges. How many phalanges? It's going to be the same. Your big toe, even though it look like very big, but only have how many bones? The same like your thumb. 2. Big. Now how about the middle one? What do you call it? You have index over it, right? On the top. But on the bottom, what do you call it? Second thumb. Second toe, right? Which is gonna be 3, right? What is the next one? The middle one is gonna be also 3. The 4th one also will be 3. But your little one is look like little, but it still have 3. So the bone is really little. Yeah, for the finger you see, you can yeah, every line, every joint is actually for each bone. So the same is gonna be how many? 14 phalanges, or if it is total, 28. Now I want you to total of them, all of them together. How many? No, it's not. Because remember, This one over here, tarsal, is 14, but carpal is 16. So you need one more bone. You need one more bone to make it 80. That bone is located between the femur and tibia and fibula, which is the patella. That's the reason why you have patella over here, right? To make it 60 bone. Okay, total how many?
Now you got it.
60 now. Now if you combine all of them with the pectoral girdle 4, upper limb 60, hip girdle 2, and then lower limb 60, total should be 126. Now the most abnormality that happenings on this appendicular skeleton, mostly on this area over here, on the feet. Some people that they have flat foot or maybe claw foot. Okay, that's sometimes the most common type of abnormality in this system. Okay, do you have questions so far? If not, we're actually done. You should be able to fill out all the questions on your assignment. So I will stop here. And again, I need your assignments before you leave the room. Okay.